Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Charles. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. I wanted to talk about something today, and let me just start off with this. Do you remember as kids, whenever your parents or somebody, maybe your teacher or somebody would ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you would tell them, man, I want to be a police officer. I want to be a firefighter. Probably whatever your dad was. My dad, he was none of these. He worked in a paper mill. But, you know, who wants to work in a paper mill whenever you're 5 years old? No, you want the good stuff. You want to be a police officer. You want to be a fireman. Just anything you could think of. And you couldn't wait till you growed up so you could actually try to be one of those. But it never worked out that way for most people. Now, when I was a kid, I really can't remember what I wanted to be when I grew up. It wasn't a police officer. I never dreamed that I would be a police officer. When I was young, I was scared of my own shadow. you know, there's no way you would have caught me dead in a abandoned building at 2 o'clock in the morning looking for a burglar. You wouldn't do that because I wouldn't have done it. But as I grew older, I did become a police officer. And I found myself in a many scary type situations, and I just went with it. You know, the good Lord kept his hand on me. But yes, I found myself in a many dark alleys chasing criminals and crazy people. But I wanted to talk about this subject because today I did something that it wasn't a very good feeling for me. You know, I am a justice of the peace. I was elected. Just to back up a little bit, in my last video, you probably heard me say that I've had 21 years in law enforcement, and I retired from that. I retired at 48 years old. And the reason why I retired is because I was going to run for this Justice of the Peace office. And so I ran and I won overwhelmingly. And that was in 2014. And I took office in January of 2015 as a Justice of the Peace. So that's how long I've been doing this. I've got 32 years in public service, 21 in law enforcement, and over 11 now as a Justice of the Peace. So I have seen some things, folks. I have been in the thick, of a lot of stuff. So the one thing that I had to do today, it pertains to an inquest that I went on. December the 31st of 2025, just a few weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, a person died. He was 60 years old. I'll be 60 this year. This guy was 60 years old. He was in very poor health. The home that he was living in a little trailer park, was just, I can't describe it. It was horrible. Animals in the house, feces all over the floors, and just, it was horrible. And the sad part about this whole situation is this man, from what I understand, this man, he did not have one family member that he could call on for help. And I believe that he still has family today. But nobody came for him when he died. He's in a wheelchair. He's got medical conditions, and he was in bad shape. But he didn't have a family that cared enough to check on him. And matter of fact, from what I was told, this man was abandoned by his family simply because of the way that he believed, the way that he did things. His parents just throwed him out to the cold and didn't want anything to do with him because he didn't believe what they believed. He didn't live his life according to their life. And, you know, that is a sad situation when a mother and a father can just throw away a child. It don't matter if he was 60, he's your child. And I don't know the circumstances, all of them. I just know what I was told by witnesses. And but could you imagine reaching 60 and not having anything? You know, it's one thing to not have a job or retirement, but it's another thing to not have your family, your mother, your father, a brother and a sister that you can call and talk to about whatever you're going through. This man didn't have that. And last week, I was on vacation. I received an email from the forensic medical services that we use for, you know, deceased whenever we need to, you know, determine cause and manner of death. We'll send them there for an autopsy. And they emailed me and told me that no one has claimed this body yet. And they need to move on. They need to move him out. They can't just keep him there forever. So I told them last week, I said, give me till I get back to work the next week. Let me try to find somebody. Let me try to find a family member, somebody, because I just did not want to be the one to dispose of this man's body without a family knowing that he's not with us anymore. So I done searches online. I searched his name. I called number after number after number. I searched previous addresses where this person lived, and nothing. Could not find a single relative. And so today I was faced with the task of authorizing the county to bury him as a pauper's burial, which is whenever a person does not have any funds to be buried. You don't have anybody to help you. You're just by yourself. And I had to issue that order today. And it wasn't very comfortable because it makes me think of myself. I'm going to be 60 this year, and I couldn't imagine going through life having no family, no friends to check on me, you know. So I just wanted to talk about this today because You know, whenever we're kids, we feel like we know what we want to do whenever we become adults. And most of the time, I don't think it pans out the way that we want it to. And things change, life changes. And so this is just something to think about today, because we're all human. You may not agree with me in how I believe, and I may not agree with you. We're all unique in our own way. And just think about what's going on in the country today. You know, you've got the rioters, and just they don't believe the way that these people believe. And I mean, it's just a big mess. And it's the same with you and I. We all live our lives the way that we feel that we need to live our lives. And I do not condemn you for it. But I just want to kind of feel blessed and thankful today, because I am not in that situation that I had to deal with today. And I hope that you're not either. And if you are, maybe, just maybe, you could make the phone call yourself and maybe not even apologize if you've done something wrong, or if you haven't done something wrong, but just break the ice and get back into that family orientation with your parents or your siblings. Because listen, one day we are going to die. It's a fact. And I don't want to die lonely. And I'm thankful for my wife, and I'm thankful for my kids. I've got a good life, and I believe that you do too. But if there's something, like I said, that's bothering you, and you've had this rocking on for years, a tiff or whatever with a family member, I encourage you today to make it right. Because if you're 60 years old or older, listen, we don't have that much more time left. So I just wanted to throw this out there today. And if it's something that you've dealt with before, or if you've experienced, or you're going through it right now, drop me a comment below. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to encourage you myself, one-on-one. And maybe you could encourage me just by telling me your situation. Because listen, I'll not only comment, but I'll also pray for you if you need it. So thank you for listening to me today. We're going to have more upbeat, positive stuff on this channel, but this just hit me today, and I wanted to just get it off my chest and maybe help somebody today. So thank you again. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video if it helped you. And ring the notification bell, because you don't want to miss our content. We have some good stuff coming out, and I think you're going to like it. So like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and I'll see you all in that next video.